Welcome to the Countdown to Pull Time show. Dan Mayer joined by special guest here, Krista Kelly. Krista, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Well, and a special guest indeed. I was actually over at the trailers talking to some of the guys, lining some drivers up to come talk with you, and said, wait, why don't I just come over and start the show?
There you go. That works out good. We're here in Wellington, Ohio. The Lorain County Fairgrounds. We're about 45 minutes southwest of the Cleveland area. That's where we're at. And boy, what a beautiful weather we got here.
I was going to say, Dan, thank you for ordering up this picture-perfect weather. And what's great about this, everyone loves a county fair, but a lot of the kids started back to school, maybe even this week, maybe even today, and this is your last kind of blast of summer, your last chance to get out to a fair maybe and see some great Grand National NTPA tractor pulling at the same time.
And we're here for the Friday Night Spectaculars, what they call it here in Wellington, a great event, been on the Grand National circuit for quite a few years now, and boy, what a turnout we've got here today. We have got the best of the best. And points are starting to really get dicey out there here as we got just a couple more events before we go into the Enderley. And, of course, this year the Enderley is, going to be a totally different deal this year where everybody's going to be running for points there at the Enderley. It's not just a special, go to the Enderley and just run for the money.
Right.
You got to run for points this year, and that's going to be great.
What has the feedback been for that? Because it seems like, again, it's always been an invite. It's always been special. But now with points on the line as well, it seems like it's just really ramped up the energy.
Everybody I've talked to has been excited about it. I was kind of thinking, there'd be somebody that, doesn't like I haven't run into that.
Okay.
I haven't run into somebody that does not, want to be there, part of that event. And, yeah, that's great. I thought there'd be a little bit of negativity, how there always is. But really, we haven't seen any of that, which is good.
I want to ask, how are you doing? Because this is the part in the season, too. You're coming off Bowling Green, which is, as wonderful as it is brutal. 5 sessions all day, all night. What's great about the Friday Night Spectacular here in Wellington, it is one show. It is Friday night, and we're going to love it because we have some great classes. But how are you doing on this part of the brutal season?
I'm doing well. Actually, it was nice this past week. I was able to go back to New York and see my oldest boy for a little bit. We were only, Bowling Green, Ohio is about 5 hours from the Buffalo area, so that worked out really well. I was able to spend the week out there and kind of spend it with him, and it was great. Just kind of a way to just kind of recoup, and like you say, 5 big sessions at Bowling Green, and it's go from the time you get up till the wee hours of the morning. It's just but it's great. It's a great event, and they had great crowds last week. I don't know how much of it you saw, but I mean, things were just spectacular. I mean, 700 and some hooks they had last week. It was just amazing.
Well, you know why I was able to see it? Because I subscribed to Full Pull Live.
There you go. Perfect.
So and my Full Pull picks. It was a big weekend, so I know it was a lot of fun. I actually don't do Full Pull picks because I don't know if I'm allowed to, because I get to go talk to the drivers and get the inside information. I actually thought that a lot of people would be, kind of wearing down because it is such a long and grueling. We've had a hot summer, but everyone I've talked to is just so excited. It's always excited for the next one. And of course, the next one is here tonight. And some points, actually, there's a championship really in a way. I know it can't be decided because Enderley has points, but those top 5 invites can be decided tonight.
Oh,
in
for
at least
sure.
One of the classes, right?
For sure. Yeah, we've got, the unlimited class tonight will end here tonight before the Enderley. So we've got that, the minis will run next weekend. The light supers will end their season next week in Canton, Ohio, and then the Pro Stock same as well. So the Unlimiteds are the only one here this weekend that technically, after this, they get ready for the Enderley.
Okay. Those Unlimiteds are wild, too. I mean, if you're just joining for Full Pull, maybe you watch Bowling Green, and that's why you're a new subscriber now, because the hype of Bowling Green, it's like the Kentucky Derby. It's like the Daytona 500. It kind of sells itself.
Yes, rolled into one.
So if you joined Full Pull Live, and we thank you, and now you're here watching saying, what am I in for tonight? You're in for something spectacular on a Friday night, and that's probably why they call it that.
Yeah, exactly. We've got, a dozen of the Unlimiteds here tonight. The best of the best are all here. Pro Stocks, we've 25 or 26 of those. Mini rods, we're up around 26, 27. We've got light supers. I think we're about 13, 14 of those. So, I mean, just a great show.
Yeah.
And then we've got a regional class here with the NTPA, the Classic Super Stocks, which are kind of big in this region up here, this northeast part of Ohio. They're very popular.
Yeah, if you sort of do some research and find, you'll see some big names here in this Ohio area that are going to be pulling for the Classic Super Stock tonight. But I know those Unlimiteds are wild. They were tuning up and getting ready, and those 4, some have 5 engines. It's just wild.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have got, a great turnout. And we've seen that all year long, really, with the Unlimited class. Last year, the numbers were kind of right around that 9, 10 part. We've been around 12, 14 at every event this year, which is great for the fans. We've got some new blood that has come into the, into the game. And that's always neat to watch, the newcomers and see how they, are adapting to everything. That's the part that I love. And then, seeing how the returning veterans, kind of how they work their way through the summer. And we saw that last week down in Bowling Green with Joe Ader.
So I always want to know, because this is what I ask. I'm kind of a novice. I know just enough about tractor pulling to be dangerous. I stay in my lane. You know it front, back, side to side. I always ask pullers, though, what is the draw? Because you are spending crazy amounts of money to travel across the country, leaving your day job. A lot of these guys are farmers. Harvest season is going on, and they're leaving the hay fields to come out here and pull. I said, what is the draw? What would it be for you? What is it that keeps you coming back?
The draw for me is the noise and the excitement. I'm a noise guy. So I know my producer's not going to like that part, but I'm not a smoke guy. I really, I've gotten to like the smoke glasses over the years, but noise is where it's at.
You love those unlimiteds.
Oh yeah, unlimiteds, mini rods, anything that makes noise. That's kind of where I got involved with the sport. But I mean, like I say, the most popular you go to at most of the events are the smoke tractors, so we've got a nice mix of them here this weekend.
Well, when I ask, too, a lot of it comes down to two things. It's the power, the adrenaline, so a lot of these guys, when they strap in that seat, I mean, they are connected to all of this power and responsible for it, and they're going to shoot down the track like they've been shot out of a cannon. So it's the power, the adrenaline. A lot of them, though, say it's the camaraderie. This is a neighborhood. This is a community out here. All of these guys pull together. They know their families. There's weddings that are going to be happening after the tractor and pulling season is over. And a lot of these pullers will travel again to go to those weddings. So it becomes a family atmosphere. And we hope that those of you watching we pull you in and you get to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, and what we try to bring you here on Full Pull Live are the stories behind the pullers. Everybody sees, where the puller comes out, makes their run. But we try to bring, what's going on behind the scenes. So we bring the pullers on like our pre-show here, and we'll talk to them during the event here tonight and kind of give you an other side of the pullers that you really don't get to see.
Well, and so many of them, like you said, they have day jobs. They're construction workers. They own fabrication companies. They are farmers. They're doing something during their Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, and then coming out here and, driving their tractor trailer, their toter home across the country to come out and just do what they love. And I don't know what that would feel like. I mean, this jet engine feeling of going down the racetrack, but we hope it comes across in your television tonight. And, I get to tell some of those fun stories.
And tonight, 6:30 start time, Full Pull Live. We'll get things underway here tonight. 6:30. It had been kind of said 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And then the promoter kind of fixed that here during the week that it's going to actually be 6:30 that we're going to get rolling. So that's just so everybody's straight on that. I know it's been, I don't know if it was on their schedule or what it was, but it was kind of, so it was kind of, a lot of fans are thinking, oh, boy, 6 o'clock on a Friday, that's pretty early, but it actually is 6:30. We'll get rolling here tonight. We'll have the Classic Super Stocks. Will be our first class out here tonight. So just to make that correction there.
Okay, that's great. And I know that a lot of people, as we come into to some of those stories, I know it's not just the win. Everyone goes for the win tonight, but it's really going to be about that fifth place invite. Some of these fifth place stories are really going to be, exciting. I'm going to reach down here and get some headsets for our guests coming up.
Yep, we got, we'll bring in the third chair there on the end. We'll put that there, and thank you. All right, so we've got Lieutenant Colonel Scardina here tonight, and all Northern Ohio recruiting here, the Cleveland Recruiting Battalion here, Commander. And thanks for joining us, Lieutenant.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me here today. Thank you.
We talked a little bit earlier about we're about 45 minutes southwest of the Cleveland area. Where are you guys actually? Are you right in the heart of Cleveland, or?
Well, the issue with the recruiting command is we name our battalions, we name them based off of where you're located. So my headquarters is in Cleveland, but like you said, really think Cleveland Recruiting Battalion, it's all of northern Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And parts of western Pennsylvania as well. So it's quite a lot of area. In fact, I woke up this morning, I was in Boardman, Ohio, and
Great Western store. There's a Great Western store in Boardman, Ohio.
There's no shortage of Great Western stores and Great Beach stores out on that route.
What is your goal when you come to these events, too? What are you trying to? Obviously, marketing and exposure. What is your goal?
There's a goal of marketing and exposure, but there's also an education component to this. Now that we end up in a generation where the World War II generation is kind of gone, and we're in a position now where you may not know somebody who served. So I have a lot of people out here today. We have a nice simulator for the Chinook out here today so people can come play. It's really education. As I'm sure y'all are aware, we made our mission back in June, So we're not desperate. It's not like we're out here trying to just beat the bush, trying to get people out of it. If somebody wants to join, absolutely. This is a great career. You can grow with it. But otherwise, it's just education, trying to connect to the public.
Now, you guys been out here all week with the fair, or is this just the last couple days, or?
We've been out here at some point the whole week, but today's kind of our big day where we have that big 18-wheeler over there with the Chinook simulator in it.
Okay.
So today's a little bit bigger than the previous days.
And what do you feel like, too, when you come? Like, do you get to go out and see the fair food? Do you get to, like, sample some of the fair food? What do you like?
Okay, I've got to be honest with you. Having a wife and 3 kids, not only do I dig into the fair food, but I'm really fascinated by the animals. I almost left with a rabbit not too long ago.
Oh.
We might be able to make that happen.
And then the tractors. I mean, I'm an armor officer, so I look at these tractors, and I tell you, I get it. I get it. I get the engines. I get the performance. I mean, tanks, after all, what did they start? They started on a chassis of a tractor.
What animals do you like?
I like goats.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the rabbits, but I like the big ones, big horses, the big cows, because going back to it, if you're in the Army, you got to think about logistics. You always have these big formations. You could have a formation, you come out, you could have a squad of 9 all the way up to a corps of 30,000. That's a lot of people to feed. That's a lot of fuel to move. I'm looking as they bring out all these tractors here, and right now I'm kind of calculating how much diesel that's going to take.
We want you to hang out right down here because you're about to see some tractors tonight. It's going to be wild, and you have a great front row seat. That Army simulator's right there where it should be.
Well, I'm going to be watching it tonight, and what I'm really going to be watching for is how many people want to take, and going back trying to connect with the public, it's that education. How does a tractor, how does it compare in performance? Example, our tank. Our tank has the same engine that some of our aircraft have. So talk about a high-performance engine that can burn almost anything. And that's the level of education you're going to need to be in the Army. So people come out here, they get into the simulator, they talk with us. I do see a lot of people, if they want to join the Army, they always come out and they ask about the educational benefits. That's probably the most frequently posed question. So that's what I'm going to be looking at here tonight, tractors and how to connect tractors to Army service.
I think you're already doing it. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And, going around the country and talking to different recruiters, where are you actually from?
I'm actually from Louisiana.
Okay.
I'm from Louisiana, but I always had this fascination with Ohio. You might not know this, but Ohio was the first true commitment to the American soldier. If you're familiar with the great play Alexander Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton is our Secretary of Treasury. They couldn't afford to pay the soldiers, the vets from the Revolutionary War. So what did they do? They formed the Ohio Company in 1783, and they started putting and giving land for farming to all those veterans. And that would pay off because not everybody was free at the end of the Revolution. And when you think of the Civil War, it's Ohio, and it's all of those regiments from Ohio going down to the Battle of Vicksburg, turning the war around, and you got Ohio's very own General Ulysses S. Grant coming out. So there's a great connection to Ohio, to the Army, and I'm glad to be part of it.
For sure, yeah. We're glad you spent a little bit of time with us here this afternoon. Yes, too. For sure, yes. Always.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate it, and I hope to talk to y'all later, and maybe you can help educate me and connect me to some of this tractor pulling event.
Yeah, have you ever been to one before, or is this it?
This is actually my first. So I'm a very horrible Cajun, but I've been briefed on the premise of it, and I'm actually fascinated by what I'm about to see.
Bring your earplugs. That's what I can tell you. Bring your earplugs.
Well, not only do I have the earplugs, but when we get out of here, I'm going to ask the Army if we can bring an M1 Abrams out here in the future and see if you can see what an Abrams can pull.
Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say let's hook it up to the sled.
Make
sure.
that happen.
Yeah,
that sounds
absolutely.
Fun.
That'd be fun.
And thank you for your service.
Yes,
well, so
appreciate that.
Thank you, and I hope you all have a great day out here and a great time at the fair yourselves.
Yes, thanks for joining us here this afternoon. Once again, Lieutenant Colonel Scardina joining us here from the U.S. Army, and they'll be here all weekend here at the great Lorain County Fairgrounds.
And I feel like I could get him a goat because, our daughter Emerson, it's her birthday today, by the way. Happy 12th birthday, Emmy. And she shows goats. So I feel like he said he almost left with a rabbit. She shows rabbits. He's going to walk out of here with some livestock, I feel like.
Okay. Now our next guest coming in here, I'm sure he knows a little bit about livestock, too.
Oh, yes.
Doug's, I'm sure the kids have been involved with that as well.
Hi, Doug.
As we'll get Doug Theobald in here, one of our unlimited competitors here. And, of course, the Theobald family, they're going to be busy once again here this weekend. 3 minis to run and got the unlimited to run. Doug, how's things looking on the unlimited side here for tonight?
Well, we're finally back together. We had a rough bowling green that brought to light some issues that apparently they have been coming on that we were not solely aware of or fully aware of, that hopefully we've got it fixed for now, and we spent most of the week putting everything back together, and hopefully that'll work out well tonight.
Now, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what can you tell us? And you don't have to be specific necessarily, but just the logistics of when you say it was a long time between the bowling green and here tonight, what have the hours been?
All of them?
All of them. 25 in a day?
I don't know. No, I mean, fortunately we did have the 4 days between then and now, but there's been some pretty major rebuilds and things that we didn't even know really that we had problems with that kind of came to light as we were going through things this week. Wow. That added a considerable amount of time to what we were doing.
Now, Doug, with a team with, a 3-engine unlimited tractor and then 3, mini mods to run with that, I mean, a normal week without a crazy week like you had, what is the normal maintenance and something like that for getting everything ready for a week?
Well, normal is, it's still a lot of time,
right,
obviously. So, right. It's the standard stuff, because these mini rods and unlimited will shake everything loose that you can imagine and more. So it's a lot of time spent making sure things are put back tight, and obviously check the wear items, go through clutches and whatever engine issues that have developed. I'm not sure there is a normal or a routine. It's just a matter of addressing what you've got to do when you get home, and then hopefully you find all of it.
Now, Doug, let's go about a month and a half back here. Chapel Hill, Tennessee, picked up that first unlimited win there with the 3-engine tractor. Yep. I mean, very impressive. I mean, over the years, you've always been that, meticulous type driver, where you go out with the 2-wheelers and, kind of advance into the modified, the light modified, the light unlimited class, and kind of work your way through. Tell us what that felt that night. I mean, pulling off that big win down there. I mean, that's still one a lot of people are still talking about.
Right. Well, obviously, and we talk about it pretty much daily too. So, just growing up in the sport, that was kind of the pinnacle, I guess, is what I'd always looked to, was the unlimited class, and I'd always hoped to be able to participate in that class and have something that we could compete and not just be a part of the class and not really have a chance of doing anything. And we've had that tractor in the class, I think, since 21 now, and we've learned a lot, I think. There's obviously there's tractors that have more horsepower than we do, but our goal has always been to try to be consistent, and there's some tracks that the big horsepower works better than others, and we just try to go out there and do our thing and make passes. And that night it worked out really good for us that we were able to go leave the line good. Some people are struggling with that. Laid down a pass that I think was about as good as we could do in that situation, and came with the win, which we always thought we had that possibility and chance, or else we wouldn't have kept doing it. So to actually have that fulfilled was pretty amazing. Well,
and you're not just, Annie, you talked about just always wanting to compete in this class. I mean, you are in that battle for that 5th spot for that Enderley invite in the Unlimiteds. Yeah. And it's going to be, it's probably one of the biggest storylines that we're watching is kind of that battle for 5th.
Right.
So talk about the mindset coming in here.
Well, the Saturday night at Bowling Green, when we had the issues that we did, that knocked us back to be in this situation, which obviously that was not our plan or goal, but fortunately we are still in a position that we can, hopefully, if we do our job right and make a run like we're capable of making, we'll still be able to fulfill that goal. That's always the goal, every year, is we want to try to make the Enderley. That's kind of obviously that's the all-star event for what we do, and that we've been able to be fortunate and participate that in a lot of classes, and we've been able to win it in several classes. We'd love to be able to have the chance to do that in Unlimited.
For sure. And Doug, for those folks that don't know, let's go back. Let's talk about how Team Theobald got started. With Dad years ago. How did this all get rolling here for the team?
Well, in 1981, my dad told me that we were going to go look at a disc for the farm, and we got in the pickup truck and we drove to Cloverdale, Indiana, and looked at a modified pulling tractor. And
no disc, right?
It's like, well, okay, this is cool. I'm good with this, but I guess no disc. And he's like, no disc today. And I'm like, okay, sweet. So we brought that home and thus started our venture, and we ran that for a few years on the state circuit. It was a single engine tractor, and we kind of saw the writing on the wall that it was coming down to need more engines, and that's about the time the two-wheel drive truck class was taken off. So we made the switch to the trucks and then participated in that for however many years that's been, since 88, 89, I guess is when we started.
Yeah, that was Pat Friel's old truck, right?
Right.
You guys actually got the old Willys from, okay.
Yep, so we bought that from him, and then actually went with him a lot, for those first several years, and he helped us a lot, kind of learning the truck and figuring out what we needed to do, and we had a lot of good times back then. And then we added a second truck then several years later, and just kept doing the two-wheel drive thing. And I guess not that I don't like the two-wheel drives by any means, because we still scamper up to the stands or go to the starting line to watch them every time they're running, but we wanted to maybe venture into something different, and I'd always want to get back into the modified or unlimited class, and several things took place that got us started with a twin-engine tractor there, and then the mini rods for my oldest son, and then my wife wanted to switch because she was running the two-wheel drive, and then my youngest son was running a two-wheel drive, and he wanted to switch. So anyway, we have three minis and a three-engine tractor now, and I'm not sure how all that happened, but here we are.
And of course, unlimited championship back in 2019, and then you kind of took that next jump into the unlimited class, and you said that's been the ultimate goal there, running in that class, and it's just been really, just added to that class. When you guys, first class operation. From anytime you guys pull in the pit area, the Theobald team pulls in, and Wicked Pulling, and everybody knows you guys are here. It's just what you guys do for the sport as far as, your equipment and just how everything looks and runs. It's just, what a credit to the sport.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We do work really hard at it. We love the sport. We love all the people involved in it. And that's, aside from obviously farming, which is what we have to do to make all this other stuff happen, that's our passion. So, our dinner conversations typically are either about pulling either last weekend or what's coming up this weekend, and then what all we got to do in between to get between the two. So
now what happens during the wintertime? What do you guys, still talk pulling, or are you just kind of looking, in the future or backward, or how do you spend that time?
Oh, there's some Purdue basketball, and
I was going to say you're yourself an alumni, right?
I am, yeah. And Grant is going to graduate hopefully in December if everything goes right.
That's awesome.
And so we're we still like those types of sports too, but our number one passion in the world is going pulling.
And I asked Dan this, and a lot of the competitors. I always am fascinated by, the why. Obviously it costs a lot of money, it costs a lot of time. So when you have a week like you had, where you needed to use all of those 24 hours a day, every day, why? What's the draw that keeps you coming back?
Just the passion for what we do. It's just, we were working in the shop Wednesday night, and it was me and the boys, and we were having a good time, even though it sucked what we were doing. So not everybody gets that chance to have that time.
That is awesome. Because they grow so fast. You know as well as I, they.
People tell me that it costs way too much, and it's just throwing money away. But we do this as a family, and I've got my two boys that are grown men that still want to spend their time with mom and dad and grandparents every weekend through the summer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You
can't put a price on that.
No.
And those memories too. When they think back to, remember that year at wherever, fill in the blank, that's what they remember.
And it kind of goes back with you, Doug, driving out to get that plow that that wasn't around, So I mean, same kind of thing,
Yeah.
And it's always great to see your dad at the pools when he's out there, and always able to spend a couple minutes talking with him. And
Right.
he's just always a great motivator. That's for sure. He's always good to talk with at the events. Now, Doug, let's talk about back at the farm during the week. What's going on, and tell everybody where you guys are located and how much you guys farm out there.
We are just southeast of Indianapolis. Shelbyville is the name of the town, and we farm around 7,000 acres of corn, soybeans, and I've got really good people that help us on the farm. I mean, people I can rely on. People that will make things happen and can make decisions when we're not there, and without them, this couldn't happen. So I mean. They don't get a lot of the recognition or the glory or anything, but I hope I tell them enough that how special they are to what we do.
That's great. We hope they're watching right now.
Yeah, for sure.
No, they're working.
Yeah. They better be.
Well,
right?
they better be, right? Yeah. The sun's up, right?
Yeah.
Sun's up.
Yeah.
Be working,
but no, it's just good. That whole support system and is essential for trying to do what we do, which is what we do is insane. But you got to have all those people to make all the pieces keep working.
It's a team for sure.
Sure,
right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Doug, we talked about the unlimited tractor. How are things going with the mini modified tractors? I mean, you got 3 of them now, and your youngest boy this year is a rookie in the class. And how are things going with that deal?
Mr. Bauer threw us for a loop this year. I don't know if he did everybody, but for the way we ran our tractors, the new sled is entirely different. So we've had to adapt. I mean, everybody obviously has to pull a new sled.
Right.
That's it. And some people that worked better for how they do things than others. And so we've had to kind of reevaluate what we're doing and make some pretty big changes to our setup. And I think it's coming around now. Grant had a really good weekend at Bowling Green that kind of gave us some validation that the changes we've made are going the right direction. Yeah,
I told him there the other day at Bowling Green, I think he's got that monkey getting it off his back there, because, boy, I'll tell you, that was from the season he had last year and, going into this year, and it's just like every time, anything that could go wrong would go wrong for him, and it's good to see him finally, turning that corner.
It's like anything else. If you lose that confidence,
right?
That's a big part of it. You gotta be confident when you go to the track, and not that I don't think he felt like he could still do good, but all of us were struggling to find that magic setup again, and not that all of them hit last weekend, because we had some other little gremlins that hurt the other 2 tractors, but for his to go out and go back to kind of working the way it had in the past was a big positive for us, for sure.
Absolutely.
Because we had, they're getting the track preps behind us. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you what you think of it. I mean, I know that they are. It was pretty soggy this morning. We got here. The sun's out now. They've a wet track's a good track to some degree. You want to have water in it.
Right.
What's your thought?
For a mini rod, yes. I mean, you got to have moisture, and a lot of times, especially when we have to run during the day, we don't always have the moisture we need to work, as well as you hope it should. But we have probably the best track builder in the country building this track here. I would love if he built every track we ever pulled on, because he does a phenomenal job. This track is a little different soil than what a lot of the other tracks kind of in the northwestern part of Ohio are. So this one has its own characteristics. It can be really good, and if anybody's going to make it good, Jim's going to make it good.
And that, as a driver, that gives you confidence going up to the line, like, hey, I know this track's going to be good, and that's kind of the
right. And you obviously start with your base material, and that there's only so much you can do, but if anybody is going to make anything work, it's going to be Jim.
Now, Doug, have you ever thought of maybe getting behind the wheel of one of these minis, or is it? I mean, crew chiefing them, but
I would imagine it's been talked about. I mean, they're right there.
Yeah. I honestly really like watching
Everybody
the
go
family
down?
Go down the track.
Okay.
And I enjoy being able to just kind of focus on that part of it with that class. If I was having to drive as well, I'm not sure I could focus on
doing the other things that you do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as I can get them down the track and they're doing well and everything's cool, I don't need to drive one of those. Because I get to drive it.
You get to, yeah.
3 inches.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Not many get to do that, so that's pretty cool.
In the family, who gets the most like emotional, fired up, like just who's the firecracker?
That is Grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe Renee. I thought it was going to be.
Well, Grant and Renee are very similar
Yeah.
people. Mason and I are probably more alike, but they have definitely the same intensity, I would call it. Whereas Mason's more laid back, and not that he doesn't focus and want to do well and things like that. He's just not as on the cuff, as they are. But yeah, Grant's pretty intense. But I wouldn't change that for the world, because he focuses on what he wants, and man, he goes after it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, good luck to you guys this evening here, and hopefully everything goes well, and be able to get into the Enderley, and that's I know that's the end game there, but hopefully everything goes well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for coming over and spending some time with us, too.
Thanks again, Doug, and good luck to you. All right, Doug Theobald joining us here on the Countdown Show as he gets ready to run their 4 vehicles here tonight, the Wicked Pulling Team out of Shelbyville, Indiana. And we'll bring in Brian Bowles next here, and we got one of our light Superstock competitors here joining us here. As we'll bring in Brian Bowles.
We'll get him.
As
flip that around for you real quick. Go ahead and I'm going to turn it around. There you go. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming over. I know it's a busy time, driver's meeting and getting ready, but thanks for coming over. And what do you think about your chances tonight?
Oh, probably 3 or 4 hours from now, we'll know. But you never know. But if it runs right, I think we've got a good shot.
Now, Brian, this year you decided to follow the Grand National points. That was, the New Holland fans are loving that, and you've had some, you've really had a lot of success. Wherever you've pulled. It's, we talk about Louisville, we talk all the big pulls. You've been there, done that. Yeah. But running for points this year, what was the decision behind that?
I guess we just wanted to see where we measure up.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. This is the best of the best, and we've kind of went to hit all the big places with all the 3 major associations. We had a lot of fun doing that, but we wanted to see if we could be consistent. Got a new head combo from Gene's Machine here this past year, and it's settled in good, and so just see if we can be consistent enough to give this thing a shot.
Do you feel like you've kind of exceeded your expectations? Knowing kind of coming in, maybe not what to expect, but...
That's a funny question. Our team, we all talk, of course. We got 11 and a half hours from here to home.
Plenty of time.
And a lot of time to talk. And first of the season, we thought if we could be top 5 in points, that would exceed our goals, for the year. A lot of tracks we don't know. We've never been here, never been to several of them. And as we got into it, here we are at 3rd. You know how greedy a person can be. Now we're shooting for that 2 spot, maybe the 1 spot.
Exactly,
you start counting points.
That's awesome. That's how it should be, right? The goal keeps sort of moving up.
Yeah.
Now, Brian, working out of, Southwest Missouri, like you say, 11 and a half hours, not right around the corner here where most of the competitors in the Midwest. Now, you started out years ago running with the Outlaw Circuit.
We did.
And the old Boiling Point Pro Stock for a bunch of years. And what was the decision to move on up and try something different?
Oh, I don't know if it's moving up. Depends on who you ask.
Well, right, but I mean... let me rephrase that. Let's go from single charger to multi-charger. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I don't know. As a kid, my dad drugged me to the Missouri State Fair, and back then you'd pull till 2 o'clock in the morning, or you'd watch it. And I always thought, if I ever had the money, I want to pull. It's always what I want to do since I was little bitty. And we was fortunate enough to be able to start putting pieces together for the Boiling Point. Bought it, piece by piece, and basically redid it all. You know how that goes. But we had some good success. Won a title or 2 with Outlaws there, and it was a lot. It was a lot to win those, and they had, I don't know, it was probably close to 30 hooks to win that thing. It took a lot of time, and
their pulls aren't close either.
No, we're far from everywhere.
Yeah,
7-8 hours is about average, and
10-11
is a little harder, but. I don't know. We always Doug Roberts, Barnyard Beast. I don't know if you remember that years and years ago. He's 30 minutes from my house, and so I seen him pull locally when I was younger too, and I thought, wow, that is amazing. I love the alcohol rumble and all that, and I just want to try something different. And it's a long-winded question or answer, and just always been enamored with the alcohol sound and just how they run. And people ask me a lot, do you wish you had the Pro Stock back? Honestly, for me, this is a much more fun ride.
I was just going to ask, how was the ride versus,
That Pro Stock on a bad track or even maybe a little bit below average would hook to about anything. You know, you get on this on a bad track and it's not as much fun as the Pro Stock, but if it's a good track or a really killer track like I think this is going to be, it's a ride. And I mean, it happens in a hurry. And
so that bad ride, the good ride that you're in hope of outweighs the bad ride that could happen. That makes sense, yeah.
It's just that being on the edge, you know, like one of my competitors in my class, on the edge. And that's the way you feel in a light super. It can be going good, and then in a split second, you think, oh, man, what's going on?
Things could go south. Now, coming into an event like this where you've never pulled here before, do you lean on your friends in the class, or how does that normally, you know, look at the track and basically just kind of compare it to somewhere you've been before, or how do you work that?
Yeah, I've become good friends with several in the class, and but that's a touchy deal. Yeah. You don't want to, lean on your fellow competitor too much. So what I do is maybe do a little homework behind the scenes with people that aren't in our class and people that's been here several times and kind of get an idea. Brent Payne was one. I knew he was out here, and he kind of gave me a little feedback on that. And it's a lot of fun getting on new places, going to new places, and trying to figure them out. But we feel like it's a little bit behind the eight ball a little bit there because we are kind of inexperienced on this track and some of the others. But
always have the listening ears, always listening what's going on.
Yeah, anything you can get is an advantage.
Your tractor's name is Alter Ego. Tell us a little bit, is there a backstory there?
Not really.
Okay.
What we do, we named Boiling Point, then I had Haley's Comet, and now the Alter Ego. Our family and friends and our whole team, we all kind of put names in the hat, and we go with what we all agree on. And but in hindsight, it is Alter Ego. I'll tell you the why here in a minute, but the Alter Ego, how it actually runs, it seems like one night it screams out the end, and the next night it falls on its face. I think, and every night we should have not named it Alter Ego. But anyway, we did that. I'm a financial advisor by trade, and you don't find many financial advisors on a pulling track. But like I said, I grew up. My whole family is farmers, and my brothers, all down our family lines. And I went the different route, and became a financial advisor. Always loved numbers and that kind of thing. And so our graphics was going to be is me on the tractor with the suit on, is what we was going to do, and we decided against it. But
kind of like a Superman, Superman. As an announcer, I always find that fascinating. A financial advisor coming out pulling, and
I heard you make fun of me last night.
Well, not last night,
or
but
weekend.
One of them, but always bring that point up, and it's always great that the diversity that we see, from farmers to financial advisors. I just love that, how, and that's a great thing about this sport is anybody can do it. If you want to come out here and run, that's, that's a great part.
Have you picked up any clients since being out here? Are you doing the
I
finance?
have.
Yeah?
But I won't tell you who.
Okay, that's all right.
No, we don't need names.
Not in this world.
No, that's good, though.
I'm loving this, though. I mean, it's just, we've had a lot of fun. I just wish it was a little closer. We're off at the end of the world. There's just not a lot of pulling around Southwest Missouri.
Does your family all farm? You said they all farm in Missouri? Are they all? Yeah.
Yeah, we're very, very close in lots of ways. Proximity, we're within 20 minutes of each other, all of us. So, we're a tight-knit family and do everything together.
What we do, I know you had asked kind of winter time. I mean, you're like, for a lot of the farmers, the schedule kind of changes a little bit in the winter. For a financial advisor, I mean, your seasons don't really change necessarily, or do they?
Well, it's pretty consistent, but end of the year and tax time is obviously a pretty heavy time for us. But my daughter, she loves the second tractor we had was called Haley's Comet. Her name is Haley, and when I sold that tractor, she bawled and bawled, and she's 20-some years old at that time, and she said, "I just can't believe you sold our tractor, Dad." And I said, "Well, sis, I don't remember of a night when I'm wrenching on that thing till 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock. I don't remember seeing you in there with me."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just gets in your blood. Doug Roberts used to talk about the disease of America's tractor pull. It just gets in your blood, and so I got back in it, and that made her happy. And she'd be here tonight if it wasn't. She's got 3 little ones, and it's a lot,
Well, what I love hearing you talk about, you said it all started because you went to the Missouri State Fair, sitting up in the grandstands and thought, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And it makes you think somewhere tonight in those
Somebody,
grandstands, there's going to be a little boy or girl who says, I can do that and I want to do it. And may not go in, like you said, didn't go into farming necessarily, didn't go into truck and tractors, but is out here 20 years from now.
And may go get an alter ego shirt and say, hey, I want to run just like that.
You just don't know. You don't know who's watching and what they're watching at any point. That makes it really exciting.
So true.
And, the season here for you, I mean, we talked about, a couple victories and sitting in the top 5 in points, making your way into the Enderly. That's, obviously the end game here this year is getting into the Enderly. Yep. And just kind of, we got, 3 more hooks for you guys before the Enderly. Is it just go after it, or is this kind of tiptoe your way here? How do you work this? I mean,
well, earlier in the year we got a couple wins, and it was all right. And we had a fuel problem with a valve that we didn't really realize for 2 or 3 hooks, and that kind of set us back some. And we think it's back to right again, and it ran good the second night at Bowling Green, and I think we'll be all right if we can get our weighting right or set up right. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. I mentioned this the other day on our podcast about the light superstock class at Bowling Green, and kudos to all you guys. What a show you guys put on. I mean, both classes there, everybody put on a great show, and, everybody kind of last couple of years and kind of been picking at the light supers, but this year you guys didn't give them anything to pick on there. I mean, what a great show you guys put on.
Yeah, thank
you. Really hats off to everybody, that did just a great job.
Yep, I agree. I mean, that's what it's all about. We want a good, consistent show, and everybody kind of tight. And, I was talking to Scott Whitworth there a little bit ago. The neat thing about our class, all of us seem to be 8-10 feet apart, but there always is one that just has that monster pass and is out there 10, 15, 20 feet in front of people. That's what makes our class fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it really is. I had a couple of those early in the year, and you think you're on top of the world, and you got it all figured out.
Until the next pull, right?
Yeah.
Until the next pull, and then it's like, darn it all, what happened there? Yeah.
It's humbling, right?
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
You mentioned the 3 little ones, Haley's 3 little ones. Are those do you have other grandkids, or those are the?
No, Haley's my only daughter, and so I've got a 7-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old grandkid.
Okay, that keeps you hopping, right?
Yeah, I've seen them right before I left town. Just so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be cheering on tonight, no doubt, right?
They watch, I guarantee.
Awesome.
Even the 2-year-old's on there. He's go P-Pop. He calls me P-Pop.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Cheering section from Missouri.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us this afternoon. We know you got to get back to the pits and get everything ready to go here for tonight, but good luck here tonight here in Wellington.
And, I appreciate it.
Once again, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
So Brian Bowles, Mount Vernon, Missouri, joining us here on the Countdown to Pull Time show. The Alter Ego New Holland Light Super, as they'll be out here tonight, the number 3 class in our competition.
And you know what I love is I was the one that down there asking guys to come in. I just didn't get stood up. I mean, I still might. There was one more that I talked to.
Well, that's why we sent you, because nobody says no to you.
Well, no, they do. They do. That's okay. But this guy. Oh wait, I'm out. Am I out? Stay here. Okay.
Yes.
You're better for the rating.
No. Well.
Which one do I put on?
You're asking me?
Whatever one you'd
that
like.
One works.
One that works this way, Jason. You got to have the. See, he's been away from it a little bit, so you see what happens when. There he is.
Hello, friend.
There he is.
How we doing, guys?
Isn't it great? What a beautiful day.
It is.
For tractor pulling.
Man, Chris, so you make Dan look way better.
Yes,
I'm a sweaty mess right
our
now.
Our ratings 5 times on the countdown to pull time. I've been texting Dan.
So, but here's what's fun. Here's what I do. I do feel bad.
Don't be shy.
No, I do feel bad because as you guys know, my knowledge of tractor pulling pretty much stays in the super farm lane. Right?
We're well aware of.
We are very aware of that. Yes,
and we're sorry.
So,
yes,
we're sorry. Because of that, I hope that I can bring a different perspective and say, well, again, it always is amazing to me of people just love it. They love truck and tractor pulling,
They
and
do.
for me who. I like it. I'm learning about it, but it's not in my blood, right? And so I'm always fascinated. But then you see Doug Theobald come over, and when we ask him about why do you do it, and he starts tearing up, and he's talking about the emotion and
Dan's
spending
never
the time.
made anybody cry, Krista.
Well, no, it's
on the show.
Last week was bad. Last week was
bad
at
vibes.
Lot of
well, no,
emotion.
and not
emotion.
bad, but Bowling Green for the last 2 years has really been, the winner circles have really been emotional, and that's one thing we talked about on our podcast there last week.
This week in polling. Every
This week in
Wednesday night,
polling.
7 o'clock
This
Eastern.
week in polling. Yes.
Episode 23 is live right now on YouTube and
Yes.
Facebook.
But we touched on that, that the emotion is just, and it's something you see, and it's great to see,
And
that
I think sometimes I would imagine someone would say, I'm not going to cry, or it's not going to affect me. And then they get in that moment and just almost like the pressure valve has been released, or just that drain has been, lifted, where all the sweat and blood and time that they put into it, and knowing you don't know if you'll make it back to Bowling Green.
No.
It's Pull Town, USA. It's the national championships. You don't know if you'll ever be there again.
And get in that winner's
to be
circle.
in the winner's
Yes.
circle. PK won in 2016 and 2021 in Super
I
Farm.
interviewed him.
Who's this PK
2021?
guy you speak
So
Yes.
he won, and I didn't understand the emotion at the time. And then when you see all of this and you see these families come out and you know the distance they've traveled and the work that they've done on their tractors, it is pretty special. And a win
It's
here
beyond.
tonight at Wellington
Oh.
in the Friday Night Spectacular. Again, I know it's not Bowling Green, but every win is the win that's going to get you to that next place. It could get you to Enderley in the All-Star
I think
invite.
people want to get through Bowling Green, Dan, and then it's how do I get to the Enderley?
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
It's
I
like-
truly believe there's
yes.
there's a rest stop at Bowling Green. Like I want to get to Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Now I want to get to the Enderley.
It's a delineation kind of in that schedule.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, well, first of all, bad decisions.
Yes.
Shandorf, did he buy that Pro Stock?
Yes.
He bought it.
Yes,
Jim is the new owner.
they named it, and Jim's actually going to drive it this
Yes.
weekend. Last weekend in Bowling Green, Jody drove it both
Yep.
days. They had it kind of wrong on the listing there, but Jim's actually going to drive it here tonight. So, a red guy.
They have
in
they have the risky business super farm.
Yep.
His brother does, right?
Yep.
Jody does.
Yep.
And then Jim bought the Pro.
Yep, Jim's got the Pro, and he's going to drive it tonight. So get ready.
You're like a squirrel, something shiny out of range here of the camera.
What is it?
There's something
I feel
shiny.
like people are attacking me today,
No,
Dan.
no.
Everybody's been like,
Not
she's
me.
focused.
Not me.
Yeah, Dan.
Billy Beers did. He wants me to interview him, not you.
That's
and I would
right.
tell you why, but you need to tune in on Full Pull Live to hear that story because it's a good one.
I have many reasons why he
Full
would
pull
want-
picks, Jason. Let's go.
Focus, Dan. We got to get
Thank you.
Producer's yelling in my ear, says full pull
we have
picks.
one professional
Let's do
here.
it. Let's do it.
Pro Stocks.
Yes.
Are up on the screen right now. Fans, you go to fullpullpicks.com. You pick 2 competitors that you think will finish in the top 3. What you do is you pick your 2, and they can go second and third. They can go 1 and 3, however you want to do it, and then you put your dollar amount in there. So Dan, you can see the screen better than me. I want you to pick 2 Pro Stocks tonight that you like.
Okay, so we are going to go with Gitter Dundeer, Kevin Schmucker.
What are his odds? I think
Let's
he was
see.
the third one
right,
down.
Keep going.
He was the third
right
one
there.
down.
He
Yep.
is like 9-1.
Okay, he's 9-1.
So that's a pretty good pick right
It is.
there because always runs
So
really,
the money,
really good.
yeah. So the lower the number, the closer like a 1-1 is a favorite. That's all the money is on that particular tractor. It's just like horse racing.
And then let's go with Carlton Cope. He won here last year.
Okay.
So he's
Scroll
another
back up.
9-1.
Scroll back up, producer. Scroll back up. Warpath is right there.
There we go.
Okay.
So we picked those 2. Okay. Now let's just do a simple $5 pick. We're going to put a 1 in there for our multiplier. And we're going to scroll down a little bit.
And of course, they
that-
don't have to win.
Right. They could go second and third, and that would show us on the right side there. Once I punch that 1 in, where it says enter the multiplier.
Enter multiplier.
Wait,
Yep,
second
you're
one
there.
in.
One there, and
You
then
see
just
the cursor.
Go to the right and scroll down a little bit.
Scroll down.
Scroll down on the right side of the screen.
There
On the
you
right-
go.
we
There you go. Join
so that
now.
$5
Yep.
pick would make us what, Dan? Enter.
46.65.
See, it's easy money. It's
So
easy money.
milkshakes for everybody.
Yes.
And
there's
a
some
corn
good ones
dog.
here. There's some a
Krista-
corn dog stands right there in Wellington.
What's your favorite fair food, Krista?
Oh, it's hard to pick. I'm a strange one. I would do like not a corn dog. I'm going to go not a cotton candy. I'm going to go like French fries, but with like the oil and vinegar.
Okay,
like
Dan, favorite
saucy.
fair food?
Now that the season is winding down here,
Are you on a diet?
we're going to go back out and we're going to
5
start.
Dans.
Yes, we're going to start. Once the
We have Dan rate the fair food, and it's 5 Dans, like Siskel
Okay.
and Ebert.
there we go.
Okay.
So,
Let's
let's
look at
go
unlimiteds.
Unlimiteds.
Let's look at
Let's do
unlimiteds.
unlimiteds here.
So again, fans, you're going to pick 2 competitors you think will finish in the top 3.
And we got 12 here tonight.
Okay, so-
we got 12.
I think we have 11. I think somebody scratched.
Oh,
one of
somebody
the Benedicts.
scratched? Oh,
one of the
okay.
Benedict scratchers scratched it.
Okay.
I put the lineups in. That's the only reason I know that. So, who do you like, Dan?
I am going to go.
So Joe just came off of a Bowling Green sweep. He's leading the points.
So we talked about the 3 tied for number 4. So we're going to go with Doug Theobald because Doug knows what he's got to do.
Yeah.
He's got to get in that top 5. And then, let's see, we've got Adam Bauer and we've got Billy Beers all tied. So let's go, let's see, Adam's like 1.6. Let's see where Billy Beers is at. He's at 1. Ooh.
Dan,
so
what's Ricky Rose's odds right now?
Ricky Rose right now is 8-1.
I want Ricky.
So
he wasn't going to come today. I talked to him this morning.
Okay.
And I talked to him. It's on Facebook Live. He was making breakfast, and I said, "What's up?" And he goes, "I wasn't going to come," and then I realized I signed a contract. And I got one chance to get to the Enderley.
He's 2 points out.
In the past, you got top 5, you get to go to the Enderley. Now it's legit. It's a lot more. It means a lot more. How does the tiebreaker work, Dan? Do you know in this class?
Wins.
Okay.
Got to go by wins. Yeah.
I like.
So let's grab Ricky Rose.
And I know you're going to do. I don't want to change anything, but Wayne's here too. Wayne could be a factor.
Yeah. He could be.
Every time yes.
Okay.
Wayne's always.
Any of these guys honestly have a chance to win. So we're gonna grab Wayne, Giddy Up, and who'd you grab, Dan?
I grabbed Doug Theobald.
Doug Theobald. Okay,
Doug
so
Theobald.
let's throw a $1 or a 1 multiplier in there on the right side of the screen.
Yes, you guys got to click on
Full
Blown Wicked.
Blown
There you
Wicked.
go. There you go.
And Giddy Up, right?
Scroll down.
Yeah, they got those two now.
The one.
Put the 1 in there. So a
Still
$5
$5
pick
bet.
would win us
28.
Okay,
$28.
now just for fun, producer, put a 30 in there, where the 1 is. So put a
30 multiplier.
So
Here we go.
$150 pick would win us what?
$840.
Let's do it.
Let's go for
Let's
it.
do it, Kristen.
So I'm not going to have any money left for French fries, but
Dan will buy you French fries.
That's
that's
okay.
true. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll get.
But fans, full pull picks are great, and then we have picks up as well for Highland, Wisconsin tomorrow night with the Badger State Tractor Pullers, Pro Stocks, and 4.1 Limited Pros.
Now, Jason, I don't know if you do it, but last weekend in Bowling Green, we have, the fans get a little crazy there. And we had fans behind us actually on full pull picks throughout the night. We're making picks
cool.
as it went on.
Awesome.
It was great to see, behind
and
us there.
And you had the Pointer sisters.
Oh, the Pointer brothers were there,
Pointer
of
brothers.
course. Yes, I don't have my little pointer with me, but yes, they gave us little pointers. But yeah, they were, everybody was doing picks, and you got to have the picks in before that class starts. So that's the only thing, because we had a couple people come up and
the line
say,
will move.
Yes.
And the line will move throughout that. So,
Yes.
Yep. Well, great.
It's a no-brainer, right? You're watching anyway. You're on Full Pull Live. You're watching. Get yourself invested in the action with Full Pull picks.
Let's take a selfie, guys.
Okay.
That's the only way to do it.
We're going to take a selfie.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Wrap
good.
her up, Dano.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you back here at 6:30. The first hook, Marvin, he'll have that first hook going about 6:27.
Classic Super Stocks,
mini rods,
Unlimiteds, Light Supers, Pro Stocks.
and then Pro Stocks.
What a lineup.
We'll be on air probably 6:10, 6:15. They might have some opening ceremonies here as well. So put it on, grab something good to eat, grab a cold one, sit back. What a great night. If you're not here, Full Pull Live it's going to be a great show.
And we're also streaming Winston-Salem, North Carolina tonight as well. And then we have 2 tonight and 4 tomorrow. So Outlaws are back tomorrow. WTPA is back tomorrow. We're going to be in Randolph, Ohio with the OSTPA.
And people were asking me at Bowling Green last week about, no, you don't have to watch them all at one time because you can't.
You can't, yeah. Go back
so
and
you
watch
can go
the
back
replays.
on Sunday morning and
great-
watch the events from whatever you want to watch.
Yeah,
you can always go back and watch. Perfect. Yes, you can be your own producer, critique all the runs if you want.
Oh, yeah.
It's the way to do it.
That's what we need, another producer.
We'll see everybody back here at 6:30.